Do you freely and unreservedly offer yourself to Sam? And Sam's going to giggle. Will you live together in faithfulness and holiness of life as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Sam, your turn. Do you freely and unreservedly offer yourself to me?
I do.
Will you live together in faithfulness and holiness of life as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Now, you turn around and face the congregation. You will leave your phone somewhere else tomorrow. This will probably remember that. Anyway, so, and now somehow between you very people in and the very short, just a slight gap, because I'm speaking to the congregation. You are a wall of eyes. All right. Will all of you here gathered uphold and honor this couple and respect the covenant they make?
We will.
Okay, so just you will, I know it's easier to control the crime. In the name of God, I, Dean, give myself to you, Sam. I will support and care for you, enduring all things, bearing all things.
So they get this first and then
Stop
I'm
right
done?
there.
Or...
Stop there and what's your name?
And then there's a final prayer. I'll invite everybody to stand for the final prayer, which is in the leaflet, and it's something that everybody will hear about. And then we're going to turn around, and the first two to go are going to be the other Mark and Dave. And then you two, correct? And then the happy couple.
Just put it back there. You go first.
Oh, you're right there. I gotta step all around.
No, but
Can't miss getting this.
and then we have two more documents.
I think the person you want to get witness is these guys, not me.
Have you already signed it?
They'll sign some others. They've got two others to sign.
Okay, good. Getting nervous?
Not at all.
Good. So I finally get to meet Sean.
I'm right here. Sign right there as well.
I think so.
No, it's the same one that Josh did. I think you'll figure it out. I can't read that.
Yes.
I can't either.
It's like, and they keep sending me messages.
Sure, it doesn't want an address
That
or
is as big as
anything.
it gets. For text.
Okay, Anita,
Android.
you'll sign right there.
Okay.
And right there, another witness. Okay. All right, Dean. Right there. I'll double check tonight to make sure I got everything. But that's a pretty amazing Williamson, I must say. Sam.
Oops.
Right there. And you are, wait a minute, person B. Here.
Remember, this is legally binding.
Not till tomorrow.
Not until you sign
And
it.
there's some dates.
Until tomorrow. I know my rights. Okay, you ready?
Republican for the Yankees and Democrats. Karen, don't give me your drink water. Oh, there she went.
I saw a thing that said he had put Sicilian wedding cookies in the oven.
He didn't do it. He ordered them. Rolly fingers.
And there's 420 games.
I just love them.
Reggie Jackson.
I called Sam because we were going to get together to go to the driving range. But you guys, yeah, in between like 2 shifts. But you guys, hold on a second.
I wanted to thank everyone for coming to our celebration.
Thank you for showing up.
In my family, growing up as a child, we used to have these family dinners, and it would be about as many people as are here. And my grandparents would be in the corner, and you could hear them talking to each other. And one day I listened, and my grandfather said to my grandmother, "All this came from us." And that's what I think of tonight when I see all of you. All of you guys came from us, for us, and we really appreciate that. What we would like to do before they start serving the main course is to start to have a little more dialogue, and we're going to start with my cousin who's going to feature a little song for us. And then as they start serving, we're going to ask you to just stand and tell us who you are, so everyone else knows, and when you met us, what our relationship is, and then we can all get to know each other a little bit better, so when we celebrate tomorrow, it makes it even more special. So this is Nick, and I think
So we're going to be singing The Way I Am, and I'm going to be singing. So this is for Sam and Dean, and congratulations, you guys. So let's start.
Thank you.
Okay.
all you tear, 'cause I love you more than I could promise. And you take me the way I am. And you take me the way I am. And you take me the way I am.
So Phil Shuffling. Why don't you stand?
Oh, I can be first?
Tell them how we met.
Well, you know, I don't even know when we first met. I first met Sam years and years ago when we had a divorce case against one another. And I enjoyed working with him. He wasn't as difficult as all the people I've heard were from New Jersey. Having been married to a woman from New Jersey for 23 years, I have an affinity for the state. But Sam and I were able to deal with kind of a difficult case, as I recall. My client was the difficult one of the two.
Very difficult.
She was. And we became very good friends afterwards. We've had a number of cases since, and we did find that we had something in common, that Sam was from New Jersey, and I was married to a woman from New Jersey. And Janie, who was not able to be here tonight, and Sam prepared a lot of notes, and Janie prides herself on her Italian cooking, although Sam has called her the carpet a couple of times. I think there was a particular incident where Sam and Dean, or maybe Dean, you weren't here, came to our house for dinner, and Sam tasted the tomato sauce and questioned the ingredients.
Makes a good brisket.
You'll have to answer to Janie. But we've become very good friends over the years. We got to know Bruno early on, somewhat better than maybe we wanted to. But we've spent a lot of holidays with Sam and Dean, and have enjoyed their friendship over the years, and feel very fortunate to be a part of this tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, hey. You just said because I'm a Jersey girl, right? So I met Dean back when I was a young artist at Seattle Opera. And from that point on, he's been kind of my mentor and helped me navigate this crazy career as an opera singer and into an opera director. And of course, Sam likes me because I am a Jersey girl, right? So there you have it, short and sweet. So happy to be here.
Kim.
Okay, I'm Kim, and Sam and I met through our mothers, who never met each other. My mom and Sam's mom both had Alzheimer's disease, and Sam and I met at the Long Distance Caregivers Alzheimer's Support Group, which took place in Seattle. And because we're East Siders, we drove together. Sam always insisted on driving, having driven with me once. And over on the drives over and back, we got to know each other really well and shared a lot of laughs and tears and experiences. And Sam became a friend, and we got to know Dean through Sam. And Sam is my husband Tim, is also our lawyer, and fortunately we use Sam as a friend more than we do as a lawyer. But he's great at both, and Dean is an extra added bonus. And that's like 20 years ago, I guess. Yeah.
Elizabeth?
Good, you know I have to leave.
I'm Elizabeth Moore, and now you're going to make me cry. Sam and Dean before they were together. Dean was my mentor and teacher, and got me into Seattle Opera as a coach accompanist, and became one of my dearest friends. And wasn't too long into that you and Sam met, and then we had the getting to know you thing. I remember a very large spaghetti dinner at one time, Sam, before you were officially together. And so I've known them both for a very, very long time and love them both very deeply.
Thank you. Okay, Dan.
Jan Delina, and I know Sam since their late 70s, because we went to college together. And my junior year, for 3 years I was a commuter, and for my junior year I probably spent more time on campus in Sam's room than I did in my own house. And then senior year I moved on campus and was Sam's roommate. Oh boy.
How were your grades that year?
My grades were great, but picking up after him was a real struggle. There was things hanging on the walls and lampshades that you wouldn't want to know. They didn't belong there either. So we've been friends for a long time. Been through quite a few things together, and he's helped me through several tough times in life, and I'm here to tell the story. So, and then had the pleasure of coming out to Seattle about 1995, 96 for a nice long visit, and got to meet Dean, and they're very special friends of mine for a long, long time, and can't say enough of good things about good friends like that. So, thank you. And this is my wife Patty, who knows Sam and Dean through me. So don't torture her.
Dan, when we were in college, worked as a short order cook at where? Denny's. And so we had a discussion one night, and he said, "I don't understand why anybody orders scallops, because you just pay all that extra money, and all it is little pieces of flounder that they cut into round pieces and serve as scallops." So don't eat scallops. Don't
eat anything again.
Sorry.
I'm Kari Reagan. I met Dean in 1991, right when I finished graduate school at Indiana, and found him through the Seattle Opera. And in the 22 years together, he's been my coach, and I've had the privilege of singing many recitals with him at the piano, and my conductor, therapist, counselor, cheerleader, friend, many things to me, and
I second all of that.
And I knew about Sam shortly after I met Dean, actually, and they just have been dear friends to me all these years. Cheers to you both. Happy to be here.
Okay, let's stay with this table. Natalie. How did we meet that?
Hi, I'm Natalie Buto, up from the Sunshine State, so brought some of that today.
Thank you.
And I've known Sam, we were thinking about that, maybe about 15 years. It's been quite a while, and we met initially at a legal conference. We think it might have been New Orleans, and I think at the time I was living in New Jersey, and then we stayed in contact, and at some point I was living in Seattle for a few years, and we've had several things in common. So aside from law, also we consider ourselves, and you've coined this term, Episcopalian, I guess, is Buddhist Episcopals. And you get that because a lot of people don't. And also having the Italian background, and so the years that Dean was the head of the Italian American Society, and going to some of those events, and then getting to know Dean as well over the years, and sharing a couple holidays, and you've forever changed how I look at it and appreciate opera. And I remember going to Tales of Hoffman, which I think was the first time you were conducting in Seattle, and that was just an amazing experience, and being able to be with you and some of the other the people associated with the production afterwards, and really came to appreciate really how much was involved in that, the talent. So yeah, just blessed to know you both, and blessed to be here.
John and James. James and John.
Yeah. I'm James Jalossic. Met Dean almost 30 years ago at the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra Blossom Music Festival. We were both pianists, sort of 6 pianists from around the country with 40 vocalists working together all summer on full scholarship and so forth. And that's how I met my partner, John Lackey, and opera tenor, concert tenor. And we just went our own ways, and then lived in Paris and Munich and New York and DC, and just moved out here and went online and saw Dean's name on Northwest Artist something or another, and I emailed him. I said, "This has to be you." So they invited us for one of those great dinners at their home, and met Sam, yay, and we've been here only 2 years, but loving it, and too cool. Congrats.
They're getting married in 2 weeks.
And don't think we don't eat while we talk, because they're serving some food, so please. That's the Italian way, you eat, you talk, you eat, you drink. So, let's see. Dude, how about if you give us a
Well, I've known Sam for a long time. I met him at a legal conference, gay law conference in Chicago, and it was 91, somewhere around then. And I was living in Boise, Idaho at the time, and then later moved to Portland. And when I moved and I'd come visit Seattle, I'd kind of look him up, and so we kind of stayed in touch and stayed friends. And then when I met my partner, Scott, I introduced them, so that's how Scott knows Sam and Dean. And we've had them visit at our house, and that's about the extent of it, so I'll keep it short.
Okay, we'll let you eat now.
Let's see, ribs. I like You must have stood out like a sore thumb.
Everybody, this is your show, everybody was
I guess I'm next. I'm Karen, and I'm the mother of Sean, Sam's son. And when we first met Sam was when Sam had applied to be a Big Brother through Big Brothers of King County. He ended up being one of the absolute best Big Brothers you could ever get because he stuck through it all, even till after he graduated from high school, till he aged out, as they would say. He came every week unless he was out of town, and he spent 4 hours a day. Now, I didn't get to know Sam very much because I was just so glad to have Sean gone. When you're a single parent, you're grateful for any moment you get on your own.
You're here.
You're here. But I remember when I went in to get Sean a Big Brother, they said, well, Big Brothers are hard to get. There aren't very many out there. And we have this Big Brother who's gay, and he would be the first gay Big Brother in the Seattle area, and would that be a problem for you? And I said, I don't care about that, but I just don't want a pedophile. And they were very happy to accommodate me with that. And then I remember Sam coming over probably a year or two after he and Sean first started doing their outings, as they call them.
and saying, "Oh, I've met someone." He was so moon-eyed, I couldn't believe it. You know, and he told me these stories, and I'm going, yeah, you know. I'm a single mother. Obviously, I've been through some. So, so I'm thinking, yeah. And actually, it ended up being Dean, and they seem to have worked. So I have great hope for this wedding. I think these two have a chance to make it.
Well, you guys heard from my mom, so now you get to hear from me. Now, one thing I'd like to address, you know, she wanted all that time away from me at that point. Now she just wants me back all the time. I mean, now I got to push her away. Although I never do. That was one of my favorite things about Sam when I was growing up, is he always wanted me around. You know, he was always there for me. Always willing to go out with me and do things, no matter how irritable, no matter how annoying, no matter how inconsiderate I was, and still am. He's always been there. You know, and he's always trying to show me the error of my ways and how to be better, and what little I listen. I still try. I mean, I have to say, I mean, there is still time to live, right? So, yeah, I met Sam when I was 7. As my mom said, he was my big brother. I feel weird in this position talking to half the room. Yeah.
You turn around.
All right, I'll stand. So I met Sam when I was 7. He was my big brother. It wasn't something that I was ever used to. You know, I was a child of a single parent. I was going out on outings with this man I barely knew. And through that experience, I developed a deep relationship with him. I met Dean for the first time when I was about 9. 8 or 9, and ever since then, me and Dean have, well, not since then, I mean, Dean has always been a little standoffish until I grew up a little bit. But in the past few years, me and Dean have really bonded about food. I went to culinary school, and I learned how to cook a little bit. And me and Dean have gotten along so well. We talk about restaurants, we talk about all sorts of different things, and no matter what Sam says, Dean has a way better understanding and open idea about what good food is. So we will always connect about that.
Where's my will?
It's okay, you can leave the recipes out. Just kidding. So anyways, you guys all know a little bit more about me. I'm so happy that they're getting married. They've been a consistent relationship the entire time that I've known both of them. I have never seen a more consistent relationship in my immediate life. Everyone else I know has either gotten divorced, broken up, or done something else. So I'm happy to see a positive relationship in my life. Thank you guys.
Yes, yes.
My name is Mary Shaver. I've known Dean since before he was a twinkle in his father's eye. His father and my father flew planes together over the jungles in Southeast Asia, and he would babysit us, I think before he met Millie, Dean's father. So Dean, well, his father and his mother had their wedding at our house in Bangkok. Oh. And so it's just like coming full circle. I grew up with Dean and his sister Anita being like our little brother and sister. And quite often we would come home from school and they would be there and stay for a week or two because their parents were off taking a vacation somewhere. So they're like these little fawns, these sweet sweet, gentle little fawns, and we have a very volatile family. And they would come and just sort of cower and sit and smile. And it's really a pleasure to be included at the family table. He's always been a little brother to me, and I'm just delighted with Sam and Dean. Yeah, Sam's reminding me. The first time I met Sam, Sam and Dean came to stay with Johnny, my husband, and I. We were living in the south of France. And we picked them up at the train station. And I said, you know, come down to our house out in the country for a jet lag. And they did. They drank lots of wine. I drive them around during the day and show them things, and they drink wine. And they go home and I cook dinner and they drink wine. That was, yeah, Sam, with our dog in the back seat. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
My name's Monson Shaver. I'm Mary's little brother, and I don't know how far I should go with this, but back in Bangkok in 1956, I believe the Catholic Church wouldn't allow Dean's parents to be married, and my mother said, to hell with that, you're going to get married in our house. And so they were married. They were beautiful marriage photographs taken in our house. And I grew up with Dean as one of my, we learned to ride bicycles together. Our fathers flew for Air America, Southern Air Transport in the Vietnam War, Korean War. And his father and mother have been like second parents to me. I met Sam in the 90s, late 90s, I believe. And just, it's been a fantastic and wonderful time, and I'm glad to be seeing her at the table. Well, it's nice to meet all of you. Thank you.
They came from Utah. Nancy?
Well, I can't stand up because the chair won't go back any further. I'm Nancy Talley, and I met Sam not too long ago. We had two things in common. All of them had to do with law. His family had some dementia, my family had some dementia, and I'll make this real short. Sam proved to be so trustworthy and so kind and so understanding, and he solved my legal problem after 7 lawyers said I had to go to court. Wow. And Sam solved it in about 3 weeks with a nice letter. And I've come to love this man and trust him to the extent that, well, I actually got him as my durable power of attorney. That tells you what I think of this man. Yeah. Anyway, I've been to his house for Halloween. He was a mad scientist, and it was great fun. And as soon as Dean goes on his next trip, we're going to have a cooking lesson. Anyway, it's a great privilege to be included here today. Thank you.
I thought playing would get me out of this. Sam brought up our grandparents before, and I was the youngest of the cousins. Sam is the oldest of the cousins. Many times, our family gatherings would end up in board games, and Sam would be the ruler of risk, sometimes being very creative with the rules, so we knew he was exactly. So, but, it's funny, over the years, I think, even since you moved to Seattle, I think we've become closer with the distance than when we were back in New Jersey. So, and it's been really nice, oldest to youngest cousin. And Dean, I think Sammy has made one of his best choices ever, probably the best choice ever. I've loved both you guys. I'm really happy we're here and can spend this time with you guys. So I'm really proud of both of you.
They also came from Florida.
Yes.
Wow. Wait.
Betsy. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. I'm probably the only one in the group that have an unusual accent.
There's a New Jersey person here.
Not far enough. It's not far enough. I'm Betsy, and I met Sam and Dean through my good friend Wayne here. Wayne and I worked together at Bellevue College for at least 40 years, or maybe more probably. So I really was very fortunate to see those wonderful, cool, lovely people and have them in my life. And I'm honored to be invited tonight. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Just tell the truth.
I'm not very good at this. Well, there's a lot I could say about when I first met Sam, but we won't go. But we grew up in a very warm home, and I have to say we were very fortunate to have the parents we had. Growing up together, we got into trouble like any boys do, but we had our good times. When Sam made the decision to come to Washington, it was quite a surprise, and you know, you worry for your family members sometimes when they take a leap like that, and it was a little scary. I mean, you don't want to say anything, you know, but at the same time you think, wow, I don't know if I could have enough nerve to do something like that, and I hope everything works out okay. And you know, we conversed back and forth with letters, and you know, there were some things that didn't go quite so right, and then there were things that did, and Dean was one of the things that went right. I can't remember the first time I met Dean, but he became such a part of our family right away, and there was a lot, you know, it was just so great that you met somebody and you've been able to stay together through the years, and I think it's wonderful. So we're glad. We're very glad. And I'm very glad I didn't have to worry too much.
Sammy cheats at Monopoly.
As well as Chris.
We always knew he was going to be a lawyer.
Okay, sit down, Joe.
At the advice of counsel. And, you know, I'm trying to think of like childhood memories, and one thing I can remember is Christmas morning. Every Christmas morning, we weren't allowed to open our presents until our parents were up, and Sammy was always the first one up. And I remember every Christmas morning I'd be woken up to, oh, you should see what Santa has under the tree for you. That would get me up, then I would get Steve up, and then sure enough we'd all be waiting. But just congratulations to the two of you. Dean, you sure you know what you're doing? We're happy to be here. Thank you.
I'm Chris Gillard, and I'm one of the priests at St. Margaret's and the one officiating tomorrow at the ceremony. So I met Dean and Sam together when they came to Pennsylvania. I was an applicant for the position of rector of St. Margaret's, and Sam was on the the search committee, and Dean was able to travel with him that weekend and met them both there. I did not anticipate having this honor to be the one to officiate at their commitment to each other at this wonderful celebration. So it's been fun to get to know them, and Sam has made me a Mexican train addict. Thank you, I think. Thank you. Yeah.
Just goes to show how far you have to travel to find a good priest. Well, we passed out these little questionnaires.
Little, they're not little.
Multiple choice. And you probably are wondering what the answers are.
Yeah.
Okay. So what date did Sam and Dean meet? And here, 91. 1, 2, 12. Very good. Okay, what did they do on their first official date?
Eat.
No? Well, we did eventually. Nope, no dancing.
Movie.
We still haven't danced.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, maybe. I still got time. We went on a hike. Which Dean insisted I go on a hike, and being a guy from New Jersey, I thought when I moved here, what's the problem with all these people falling in the woods? They have so much trouble walking in the woods. It's a hike, you know. So I went on the hike with a bathing suit and flip-flops. And Dean looked at me like, what are you wearing? Anyway, I learned. In what town did Sam and Dean first share a residence?
Seattle.
No.
Renton. Newport Hills.
Newport Hills.
I got that one. Sure did.
At the time it wasn't. What was the name of Sam and Dean's first pet? Bruno. What is Dean's nickname for Sam? Brute. No. Topolino, the little mouse. And Sam's nickname for Dean.
Scoojilly.
Conch shell.
What was that again?
Scoojilly. Okay, what is Dean's date of birth?
September 8th.
September 8th?
1959.
Millie, is that right?
But no, question.
That's a trick question.
Born on the
because
9th.
He was born on the 8th or 9th,
No,
we're not
he
quite
was
sure.
born on the 9th, but his birth certificate says the 8th.
It's an auspicious
And that's
day.
a very important point, because if you forget his birthday, you can always say, oh no, you were born on the 9th.
He's a lawyer.
And Sam's date of birth?
January 19th.
57.
January 21st, 1993.
When did Sam and Dean buy their first house? Nobody knows?
I don't know what year that was.
97.
94. Work on that. How many countries, including the USA, have Sam and Dean visited together?
Way too many. Or not enough.
I got USA, Mexico, Canada.
USA doesn't count.
Yeah, we count.
Spain, France.
Spain, France, Netherlands, China, Brussels.
That's 9.
Did we say Italy?
Brussels is not a
Vatican City. Oh yeah, Belgium. Very good. 11 countries.
Sam, did you say Costa Rica?
Yes.
How many pets have we owned together?
3.
4. What are their names?
Brady.
Bruno.
Griffey. Right, very good. How many motor vehicles have we had?
And Gus was.
4 as well, yes?
Yeah, but he
Together.
together.
No, we
Does the
did
Ford
not.
Explorer
That never came in our house.
Does the Explorer
Does the
count?
Explorer count? Was that your first car together, or was that just yours?
That was our first car together. Was the Explorer.
Yeah, so Ford Explorer, Honda Accord, RAV4, Toyota Corolla, 4?
How many did you bang up?
Honda CR-V.
Only one.
4.
Only one?
Yeah.
4 cars. What food item were voted
I
and
didn't want to
Sam
take
and
the 10%
Dean
liability. They made me.
No.
Sushi.
No.
Kimchi.
Kimchi.
Kimchi
is not allowed. Can we put that in the vows somewhere?
It's one of the
Okay, how many properties have we remodeled?
2.
Too many.
No. 3. The real test of any relationship is remodeling houses. And what are they used for now?
Office, rental, your home.
Very good. Good. Where did we first share our first meal and what was it?
Chinese in Seattle.
Nope.
Italian in Seattle.
Italian and
In
what?
your home.
Angelo.
See, this is the key. Once he had my lasagna, he wasn't going anyplace. And that was it. Where did we first meet?
YMCA.
YMCA, very good.
Capitol Hill.
What 2 places did we go to on Capitol Hill that same night?
Egyptian Theater.
No. What?
Charlie's.
No. Neighbors. What was the name of it? The Gravity Bar. Gravity Bar, where he drank this grass drink and got green stuff in the ends of his mouth. And then Dilettantes, which I highly recommend you go to if you're visiting. How many states, including Washington, have we visited together?
25.
35.
I don't even know. Washington.
You drove across the country.
Let's see, how many states have we not visited together?
Probably easier.
I don't think we've been to North Dakota, South Dakota,
Alaska.
Hawaii.
You have not been to Hawaii?
We have not been to Hawaii. Have we been to Wisconsin?
No, I haven't.
Wisconsin we haven't been to. Alabama, Mississippi.
Tennessee.
We've been to Tennessee, Arkansas, and Texas we haven't been to.
Yeah, you've been to Texas.
Well, we just stopped at the airport. Well, I'd say we went to about 40 states easily. Okay, on what holiday did we hold our first housewarming party?
Christmas Eve.
No.
Easter.
Halloween.
St. Patrick's Day.
No, close.
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Excellent.
What annual event takes place each year at our house that Dean's never been to? Not Halloween, the haunted house. And without going over, how many miles separate our respective places of birth? Well, I was born in
7,750.
I have no idea. Google knows everything.
What are the 2 cities?
The 2 cities are Taipei
Taipei.
and Vineland, New Jersey. The dandelion capital of the world. Well, we want to thank you all for coming. We hope you enjoy your wedding as much as we do.